All right, so now that we're listening to this event and it's actually working, now that we are verifying that this is actually working, make sure that yours is working as well. We are going to be using this event that we are going to get, because remember that when we get this event here, okay, we're getting something back from the construct here. We're getting this here. It's going to assign a event, an object that is going to have a whole bunch of stuff that we want, right? So if the event type is this, is going to be a different event than this event here, okay? So let's go ahead and comment this out. We don't need that anymore. And if it did not work for you, that's okay, as long as you didn't get any errors in your when you're listening to your stuff here. Unless if you got 200, you're good to go. Okay, don't worry too much about anything else. So what I want to do here in the chart succeeded, and I comment this out because we're not going to need that one there. Okay, because I already looked at the object, I know what I want. You see, I went ahead and did a lot of trigger. You see right now, if I do a trigger, let's do stripe. Stripe trigger. Checkout session completed. This is the biggest one there available. And if I look at my console here, you can see that it launches a whole bunch of events. It has a payment intent event. It has a customer created one, customer intent succeeded, chart succeeded, checkout session completed. I already checked what each of these objects have, or each of these events have, by doing this copy, and I went here and I say Stripe events retrieve, and I paste that event there. And then I went and checked out all the information of these events, and I said to myself, okay, I just need to, each of these have this type of, they all have the same data, the object event, the API version, the ID, whatever, they all have this same data, but they differ here. Once I got to this object here, data object, then this here would be a different information. So I went through each of those and I found out that chart succeeded and checkout session completed is the events that we need for our application. Okay, they have the information we want. Like this one is, as you can see, the PI, payment intent object, or this payment intent event has some information. It has that information of $30 here of a charge, a payment intent, but that's not what we wanted. We want to make sure that this event triggers, the chart succeeded, that everything went all right. So we are going to access the event on this event, and we're going to access the data object and the object in that data and the amount, because I already checked the events and that's the field that I'm interested in. You are welcome to check all those events individually by yourself. Okay, I already did my homework there, so you are welcome to study their API a little bit more than what I'm showing you here. So we have currency, which I'm interested in. There's a lot more information, guys, on these objects. It's just I'm getting the ones that I want. Balance, transaction. Only this one has this. Well, the checkout completed event doesn't have the transaction. I was looking for it, I couldn't find it. This is the status. And this would be, we need the event. So let's come back here. So they have to match our database, guys, columns. Okay, so make sure that you have these, like I mentioned in the beginning of this section, the new columns. Okay, So this would be the transaction, order, status, and I have all these columns, and we're gonna double check this, okay? But if this doesn't work for you, it's because you probably don't have all the columns. And the Stripe session ID, we're gonna need it later. All right, because I want this information in the order table, okay? And then here, we're gonna create a query where we are gonna insert some information into the orders table. And what do we want? Well, first thing is we want the Stripe. Usually my ID is helping me write this stuff. I wonder why it's not helping me right now. Oh, because I'm not connected to the database here. So I'm just gonna quickly connect. You can forward this video if you want. You don't want to see this, that's okay. Root, incompatible drivers. I like to have my database in my IDEs. It's just while that's doing that, I want to go to my database and make sure that I have all those fields in there. Stripe session ID, order amount, transaction status, currency. Make sure that you have all those and make sure that the type is actually correct as well. Okay? And this is telling me that it's incompatible. What in the world is going on here? Anyway, I'm not even gonna do this now. Let's go and, because when I'm writing, I like to have suggestions, like, so I don't make mistakes. Usually my IDE will read the columns in my database when I connected it through the data source here, okay? And it will actually give me the database, the column names, so I don't make mistakes, okay? Because there are so many columns that we're gonna make mistakes, okay? So we want the session ID, we want the order. You see it's working now. Order amount, order status, okay? We can break this into the next line. What else? We have the order currency. Okay. Let's do values here. And then on the values, we just have to match the same data here, same variables. And I named it the same, so that way we don't have a problem, right? Make sure that you have your single quotes here. And the next one is order amounts. So I'm just gonna copy this. And the other one is order. Make sure you get this correct, guys, because if you don't, we're gonna have a problem. Stripe session ID, order amount, order status. Actually, before this one is order transaction, which I forgot. See? And then order transaction. Amount is actually going to be, is it a string? Yeah, no, order amount is not a string. It's an integer, I believe. We have to double check that. Order transaction. Order status. Very easy to make a mistake here, guys, so take your time. Okay. So let's fix this code so it looks a little better. Alrighty. All right, let's see where we're making some type of boo-boo somewhere. There we go. And this one here says on resolve session Stripe. Let's make sure that we have that there, Stripe session ID. All right. Put it in the next line so that way you can check it. Okay. Order transaction, order status, order currency. And then make sure that in your database the data type is correct. Order amount is an integer. All right. Let's test this out to see if it works. If it doesn't, then we'll fix it like we always do, right? So let's confirm the query, whatever query this is. Order query. Then we'll make sure we break if we don't have that break anywhere. Oh, we had it. That's okay. All right. So right now we don't have any orders. Okay, let's check it. So this is chart succeeded. Let's trigger it from our Stripe API, from our Stripe CLI. Okay. Oops. Well, no, that's fine. Let's refresh this here. And you can see now that we do have some data. All right. Perfect. We got everything that we wanted. That works perfect, guys. All right. The order ID, the Stripe session ID, the order transaction, the order amount, order status. Perfect. Okay. Well, that worked better than I planned. Kind of boring though, because I like to make mistakes so I can fix it. Anyway, so in the next lecture, we're going to work on the other event, which is going to be the checkout session completed. You're welcome to try to do that yourself. Okay. See you in the next one.